Good morning, social media world. I'm on my way to work. It is July 5th, and running a little late. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk about, change. In the next little bit, I will have some major changes going on, and embarking on something and some things that I'm kind of nervous about, and I've talked to my husband about it, and he says that he's not really nervous. He's just accepting what is going to come. And with this change, I do feel growth, right? I feel a lot of growth. And I do want to walk by faith and not by sight. And sometimes it's just easier said than done. I read my Bible in the morning. Not every morning, but I'm trying to get consistent with just every morning. But I read my Bible in the morning. I try to pray before I go to sleep. If not, read my Bible as well. Kind of start my day off with scripture and ending my day off with scripture. And that's not always the case, but like I said, I want to get better at it. And I have witnessed and have tons and tons of testimonies of God coming through for me. Tons and tons. Like, I could sit here and tell you a whole bunch of stories and you'll be like, girl, ain't no way. I'm talking about spirits. I'm talking about demonic situations. I'm talking about realizing gifts and being at the breaking point of just seeing people for who they are. Things that, for somebody who's a non-believer might say, like, girl, you exaggerating or you not being honest, And I can sit here and go through tons and tons of them with people verifying certain things to help back that up. Not that I need backing up. I think it's important to have a certain security around your plan, right? And around God's plan. There are certain things that are just for you. And those words are just for you. That vision is just for you. This is why you can have a beautiful, big idea in your mind, and you'll tell the people that you are close to, and they will put their doubts on you. And they will spiritually put their doubts on you. They will put stuff in the air that'll make you think and spiritually make you feel like you're not able to do it, or why are you doing it that way, and that I'm a firm believer in. I've gotten to the point where if God tells me to move, I move, but doesn't necessarily mean that I'm void of fear. I'm just more fearful of God and not behaving or not doing the things that I know I'm supposed to do. And that doesn't mean that I don't still fall short, but that doesn't mean that I'm not fearful of of it not working or it not going the way that I want it to go. But I'm more fearful of God in his hand, and I think that's how it's supposed to be set up. And he doesn't give us he doesn't give us fear, right? I know that. But at the same time, it's hard. It's hard. I'm being transparent. There's certain videos that I might do on social media and I'll take them down because I don't think it's conducive of a wife, or it doesn't look good as a wife, or it doesn't look good as a mom, and I'll take it down, because I don't want to spread false narratives or false doctrine when it comes to how I'm supposed to present myself as a child of God. And those who can relate can relate. Those who don't, I just tell you to just test them out for yourself. And if you have before and you feel as though you were let down, try it again. Okay. It's an amazing, God is amazing, it has come through for me so many times. And once again, as this change kind of is coming about, and it's a big change, and it's a change that I know he has me, but it's still that little, ooh, God, like, ooh, like you, ooh, like, this is a big one, there's a lot riding on that, there's a lot to put in, and my mom had told me not too long ago, the bigger the reward, dang, I know I'm gonna mess this one up, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Go broke or go home. I don't know, whichever one she used, is the one that I have resonated with. I'm going to have to ask her which one because I don't remember anymore. But basically, if you're not putting nothing in, you ain't going to get nothing out type stuff, you know? You got to play big to win big. That's what it was. You got to play big to win big. And I do believe God is like that. God is a person. God is a spirit or a being who is just kind of like, hey, look, you know, I need you to do this. And if you rely on faith, I'm going to do this. And sometimes I'll circle around the block. He'll have me go do something. And I'll be like, why did I go do that? Like, why would I go do that? It had nothing to do with in my mind, it had nothing to do with where you led me to. And I think with him, it's kind of like, yo, I told you to go do something, and your reward is always linked to what I told you to do, even if it don't make sense to you. You know, and biblically we've seen that a lot as well, where people were doing things that, you know, it equated somewhere else or it evened out somewhere else, and you might not see why he told you to do that, or why he told you to speak to that person, or why he told you to go visit that place, or why he told you to connect with that person. You might not see why he wants you to do it, but everybody is connected to everything, right? And everything has a purpose, and you set certain times you might meet a person and speak to them for 5 seconds, and that 5 seconds carry them through to having a good day, being able to spark something in somebody else's life to have a good day. Remember, you only have to plant a seed and it'll grow, right? You only have to have the faith of a mustard seed. And I do think I have the faith of the mustard seed, but I'm trying to have a faith of the orange. You know, I'm trying to big up my size a little bit. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to kind of, on my way to work, just kind of tell you how I'm feeling and the things that, you know, are about to occur. And I can't really go into detail. Y'all know me. For people who have watched me for a while, y'all know me. I'm not going to go into detail about certain things until it's already set in stone. Certain things I don't mind mentioning, but certain things I feel like are for testimonies. They're not for people to have word or say-sos in, you know. And if that was the case, it just don't work that way. People could put roots on the ideas and the gifts and the things that belong to you, you know. And for me, even when I found out that I'm pregnant, right, I don't tell anybody for a while. You know, I got into the habit of protecting my child at a young age, you know, of in vitro, you know, or fertility. I try to make sure that no one knows, you know, except for me and my husband, and then we tell our parents, and then we wait a few months, and then we tell, you know, the world when we're out of a certain I guess period of baby, I don't know, but anyway, of pregnancy. So, and that's how we handle things, you know. Your vision is your vision, and God gives you those visions because he wants to ultimately see that you got it, you know. And everything that God gives you as a task, once you finish one thing, there'll be another thing, you know. That's something else that I had to kind of acknowledge and understand. Once one thing is over with, it's gonna be something else. It's always gonna be something else. So anyway, y'all, this is just a word for the day, how I'm feeling, catching up. Hopefully I could do another one a little later. Love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. Make sure you follow me if you're new to my channel. My name is Toya. I am a mom of 6 kids, so it's a house of 8, and this is kind of new to us, so we're just bringing you along on our journey. I am a child of God. I call myself a Christian, and you know, anyway, bye.